Today, in How to Eat Fried Worms, we will be reading Chapter 3 in this video. We will be able to respond to questions by using the text, and on Monday, we will be writing a summary about how to eat fried worms for Chapters 3 and 4 using our graphic organizer and the strategy that we learned for summarizing, which is somebody, wanted, but, so, then, and finally. The question I'd like us to focus on is question number 1. What did Billy do to get ready to eat the worm? Let me open up to our text. And let's go to chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Training Camp. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Billy was doing push-ups in the deserted horse barn, which means that no one's there. He wasn't worried about eating the first worm, but people were always daring him to do things, and he'd found it was better to look ahead, to try to figure things out, get himself ready. Last winter, Alan had dared him to sleep out all night in the igloo they'd built in Tom's backyard. Why not? Billy had thought to himself. What could it happen? About midnight, huddled, shivering under his blankets in the darkness, he'd begun to wonder if he should give up and go home. His feet felt like aching stones in his boots. Even his tongue inside his mouth was cold. But half an hour later, as he was stubbornly dancing about outside in the moonlight to warm himself, Tom's dog Martha had come along with 6 other dogs, all in a pack, and Billy had coaxed them in, which means he was leading them in, to the igloo and blocked the door with an orange crate. And after the dogs had stopped wrestling and nipping and barking and sniffing around, they'd all gone to sleep in a heap with Billy in the middle, as warm as an onion in a stew. But he hadn't been able to think of anything special to do to prepare himself for eating a worm. So he was just limbering up in general. Push-ups, knee bends, jumping jacks, red-faced, perspiring, which means you're sweating. Nearby in an orange crate, he'd set out bottles of ketchup and Worcestershire sauce, jars of piccalilli and mustard, and a box of crackers, salt and pepper shakers, a lemon, a slice of cheese, his mother's tin cinnamon and sugar shaker, a box of Kleenex, a jar of maraschino's cherries, some horseradish, and a plastic honey bear. Tom's head appeared around the door. Ready? Billy scrambled up, brushing his back. Yeah. Ta-ra! Tom flung the door open. Alan marched carrying in a covered silver platter in both hands. Joe slouching along beside him with a napkin over one arm, nodding and smiling obsequiously. And I believe I pronounced that right. Let's try it. Yes. Obsequiously, which means trying to hard to please someone. Tom dragged another orange crate over beside the first. Alan set the silver platter on it. A chair, cried Alan. A chair for the monsieur. Come on, Billy. Come on, said Billy. Cut the clowning. Tom found an old milking stool in one of the horse stalls. Joe dusted it off with his napkin, showing his teeth, and then ushered Billy onto it. Ladies and gentlemen, shouted Alan, I present my masterpiece. Worm à la mode. He swept the cover off the platter. Ah, cried Billy, recoiling. So the question I had asked you to focus on was, what did Billy do to get ready to eat the worm? Well, we saw in the beginning of the chapter that Billy wasn't sure how to prepare for eating the worm, so he did push-ups, knee bends, jumping jacks, and on a nearby orange crate, he put out bottles of ketchup, mustard, a box of crackers, salt and pepper, shakers, a lemon, a slice of cheese, and cinnamon, and a sugar shaker. So what I would like you to do, boys and girls, is we will continue our questions during chapter 4. So please go ahead and